We're here with Grant and his 80 series Land Cruiser. How long have you had this vehicle for?
I picked it up during COVID. I'd say that was around 2020, I think, 2021, 2020. One of those 2 years, yeah. Forget now, it was a terrible time.
Yeah, good time to pick up a Land Rover. And this has got the 1.8Z engine?
Yeah, standard 1.8Z, naturally aspirated. Don't go near the turbo. Yeah, what can I say? I mean, I don't know, dual battery system, old man emu suspension lift, ALB front bull bar, but everything else is probably pretty standard.
Let's have a look at the front. So you got the and you got a winch and everything here.
Yeah, T-Max winch, standard.
Is it possible to look at the engine?
Yeah, absolutely. She's quite gnarly inside.
And you're saying you picked this up for an absolute bargain.
Yeah, look, I mean, considering, I think so. Engine was popped in.
Oh,
So the engine's actually got about 130 odd on the clock now.
You got a dual battery system.
Got a dual battery system. But like I said, again, everything's pretty stock standard.
Is it possible to fire it up?
Yeah, no worries.
And hold that.
Awesome.
No, don't look here. Yeah, you got a blocked drain. I can smell it. That sounds very trusty.
Yeah.
And what sort of trips have you done in this truck?
Yeah, look, we're pretty new to this game, so we've just done locally around Cedarburg, but we did Kalahari with a couple of friends last year, and she was purred all the way up there. So yeah, I'm happy to have something really reliable. So yeah, that was great. And hoping to do a bit in Namibia next year. Actually, the unit, she came from a guy who was running her up in Namibia quite a lot. So I suppose one other thing is the brass radiator that was fitted in there. Yeah, that's not standard.
Interestingly, this is the second engine in this car.
Yeah, exactly. So I was a bit dubious about that. You know, like what's happening there, because they seem to be pretty reliable. But the second owner, I don't know, he had to put in bit sketchy about like what happened there. But I just followed up who put the engine in. It was put in by Toyota up in Bathurst. All the paperwork was there. Just did my homework on it.
Exactly.
Checked the engine number, you know, with the engine when it came through the recon, you know, and everything seemed fine. And yeah, I haven't had any problems with it. So
you might have turbocharged it and blown it with the previous one.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I hear the guys do.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's always that kind of turbocharge conversation that goes on with the 1.8Z. So
But on the highway, you find it's fine, 110, 120.
Yeah, she sits really well at about 110, 120. I'm not towing anything as well, so she's fine for that. So absolutely love her, you know.
The old interior.
Yeah, again, you know, I mean, we just got some old seats in here. There's not much going on in here.
Stock standard.
Yeah, it's pretty old school, you know.
Is that a temperature gauge down there?
Well, this?
Yeah.
No, this is the dual battery system.
Oh, the dual battery
Yeah,
system.
so it's the old National Lunar system that they got here, and that's just the monitor
Let's try it and test
over
it.
there. Yeah.
Everything on these cars. This was sort of Toyota's finest hour in terms of manufacturing.
Yeah, I mean that's what they say. I suppose the last of the legacy are the ones that were really built pretty solidly. You know, from what I've read, it's got the solid front axles. springs on them. So yeah.
That's what it says in the packet.
Yeah.
And you got loads of space in the back.
Totally.
You took, was there, did these come as 8-seaters originally? Or
some configurations did. This is the GX, so from what I know, no, it didn't come in it with an 8-seat in the back. I think the more higher up models were running those. So yeah, she's pretty much entry level in a lot of respects.
And this GX, is that quite similar to the 105 GX then?
Yeah, I wouldn't know what the difference is there on the between the 105 GX and that GX is. Yeah, I'd be remiss to say that. Yeah, to know what they are. But I mean, they're probably pretty similar. To me, the only difference with the 105 really was the body shape.
Yeah, the front lights.
Exactly, you know.
Apparently you can get 60 series lights on the front and the whole aftermarket.
Yeah,
LEDs.
Exactly. And I think they brought it back because people were complaining when they brought out the 100 that it wasn't robust enough. So again, the 105 I'd say is one to look out for. You know, a lot of the guys really like those units too. You know. And they're newer, you see.
Exactly.
So,
and
this is a late model 97. So yeah, for the 80, it's pretty much close to when they ended the production.
And fuel economy, you say you're getting 13, 14 in the city, sort of 11, 12 on the highway.
Yeah, exactly there. Yeah.
And you got 33s on here. Did they come with these tires?
No, I put those on. Can't remember what the standard ones were. I think we were running Coopers.
Yeah.
But yeah,
this is a better tire. And did you notice any fuel economy difference? Probably going with a bigger tire.
I must say I didn't. I haven't really been giving it a good look because it's quite scary most of the time, you know. I suppose it helps, you know, when you fill it up and kind of forget. Smiles per gallon, but we've got an extended fuel tank on here as well, so it's a 150 litres tank I get. Yeah. So I get about 1,200, 1,300 out of that.
So you're over the magic 1,000 K mark.
Yeah, which is handy. It's handy. You really enjoy that. Yeah.
And you got the rooftop tent here. Is that a
old school tent? This is a Hannibal, just a plastic unit. What I like about this, obviously the price, you know, picked it up second hand, but apart from that, it's a light unit.
Yeah.
So yeah, plenty of room for improvement, but the unit stays light, fairly aerodynamic, and this is about 55-60 kilos, which is great.
You're still under GVM on the roof.
Yeah.
I wonder if I should sit in the back. I know it's
I've got a bit of wood in there.
I want to see how wide these feel. So you don't find you have a problem in the traffic. But it's actually, what was a big car in the 80s is not really that big these days.
Well, I was a kid in the 80s, so everything looked pretty big to me then. But yeah, absolutely.
Like a standard Ford Everest is pretty wider than this now.
Yeah. Some of the big Nissans as well, you know.
The Patrols.
Yeah.
Well, you got a nice commanding sitting position, yeah.
Yeah, I've got these extra little seats on it, but I do like the height as well.
And this thing doesn't beep at you whatsoever.
No.
That's always a nice touch. And loads of space at the back.
Loads of space, yeah. I mean, when the guys configure the units up, but we've got dogs as well, and we like to bring them along occasionally, so I like to just have a bit of versatility in the back.
Exactly. Sure, this has got plenty of power. I don't know why people go on about this engine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it depends what you want to do. I suppose, you know, I've heard the guys that are sort of ramping dunes, you know, you're not going to use her for that.
when you get to a certain age, you don't need to ram tunes anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It depends what you want to do.
Exactly. Well, yeah, if you didn't buy the V8s, if you want to go ram tunes.
Yeah, exactly.
This feels ideal. Well, you convinced me to get even if one of these come up.
Yeah, I mean, check them out. They seem to be going from anything from like, for a decent unit, 150 to about 220, and anywhere in between that kind of range. And I just think for what you get, it's great. It's solid.
Exactly.
Like I said, the reliability. If you're kind of dreaming, at least like we are, of doing some more serious trips, at least I've got a solid platform to work with.
And the parts availability on this must be amazing.
Solid, yeah, still good, still really good. I mean, as you know, Toyota still make this engine.
They're still,
maybe for not much longer, but they're still making the 1HZ, yeah.
That makes a big difference if the engine's still in production.
Yeah.
And you still got automatic. I mean, this is what, 1990 odd, this car?
Yeah, it's a 97.
97. So it's got a lot of electric windows and the mod cons.
Yep. She's comfortable, man.
And you got these pockets very well fitted. So these must come in really handy.
Absolutely, we got all sorts of bits and pieces in there.
Passports and all that stuff.
Yeah, again, this is all standard, Yeah.
Got your hip flask. You always need that in the bush. There's another. You see a lot of them on the road. And is everybody sort of winking at each other when they go past?
I think the guys picked that up from the Land Rover cruise.
Yeah.
But yeah, seems like
this feels pucker. And with with a 285 profile, you can really get a lot of grip on the rotor.
Yep.
What do you run your tires at in the city?
Again, I'm kind of new to this. 2.4, I would say.
Yeah, 2.2, 2.4.
2.4, 2.5 in the back. Got a load.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
And this is obviously original color.
Yeah.
The maroon.
Good old maroon.
Can't go wrong with that.
You kind of laugh at me, but I actually think they kind of disappear somehow in the bush.
Yeah. Well, it can be a good thing if you're looking for a stealth camping spot.
Depends what you want to do.
Exactly. But I suppose, do you ever find at dusk people struggle to see you?
I haven't had that, no. But a mate of mine who's an ex-game ranger said, if you're doing sort of Central Africa or whatever, they're less likely to shoot of you because you don't look like you're from the UN.
Okay, that's handy.
The colour red, who knows? So hey,
they probably think you're Russian and you can get it past. And it probably is a bit of a conversation starter in the campsite. It's easy to make friends when you got an 80 series.
Absolutely, that's what we found. And people are always happy to talk and share stories. It's like, I don't know, it's like bringing in an old horse.
Yeah.
Old cart horse or something. It's gonna.
And you probably get people wanting
attention.
to buy it off you all the time.
Yeah, we've had a few requests, I must admit, which is nice to know. It's nice to know. I mean, the price of diesel these days is crazy.
Yeah, but I guess this is probably the most economical one of the 80s.
Yeah.
The turbos can be a bit problematic when it gives up. I mean, fixing it's expensive.
Yeah. And I don't know. But then also with the old 1.8Z is you can run quite a lot of dirty fuel in it as well.
That must make a difference when you're in funny places.
Exactly. But the Australians seem to really enjoy these units. I think I think they're originally built for the Australian market as well.
Probably for the mines.
Yeah, the Aussies love them. They've also got cleaner fuel out there, so they love to do the turbocharging, and from what I hear, they're pretty good at that.
Apparently, the popular one is to put a Subaru turbocharger on.
Oh right, wow, cool.
If you want to go the slightly cheaper route.
Yeah, and then I don't know what the lifespan is from that. You know, what you kind of get out of it if it's done properly. You know, but yeah, you probably get at least maybe about 30 more kilowatts or something out of it as well.
Exactly, but this is the first time I've been in one of these, and it definitely feels more powerful than. You wonder what all the fuss is about.
Yeah, I mean, how fast does somebody want to go? You
Exactly.
know, in a truck, I quite like the cruise element. You know,
It probably makes you a more chilled, better driver.
well, certainly a little bit more alert when I'm overtaking trucks on the N1.
Jeez. So what's the key to it's timing and getting the revs right?
Absolutely, lots of space, revs right, timing, and don't do it uphill, guys.
So it's only downhill overtaking.
Downhill or straights, boy, that's for sure.
And it's sort of how many revs are you doing when you're doing 110 on the highway?
110, yeah, I'm probably. I mean, right now I'm 80. Just dropping to 50. So yeah, 110. I'm probably doing about 2.4.
Which is quite high for a diesel.
It is.
That's why it's nice to have the big wheel on it. You got it. Almost gives you a longer rotation of the wheel.
Right. I see. Yeah.
And then what's your dream trip for this guy?
Sure, man. Yeah. So I've got a couple of connections up in Malawi, so kind of have sort of illusions of grandeur taking it all the way up there. Last time I was there, I was 10 years old.
Lake Malawi.
Yeah, and up, so I'll probably go up through, through Namibia, across Caprivi, that way, pretty popular stretch.
And it's through Botswana and then Zambia and then
then up in.
Would you have to go through Zimbabwe, or you can go through Zambia into Malawi?
Yeah, you got me there. I think probably through Zambia, straight in.
That'll be a hell of a route. This car is made for that kind of thing.
Yeah, you'd have to kind of. Yeah, that's a big deal, and I'd be to make sure that she's a lot more comfortable there for the setup we got now.
Give it a good service.
Yeah.
And service intervals on this 10,000 k's.
Yeah, so I'm doing at 5,000, keeping her oiled, do an oil change at 5,000, and obviously change the air filter, oil filter 5,000, and then the 10,000 is the bigger one. I'll take her in for that.
So you do the oil filter yourself?
Yeah, I just do the small one myself because I can, and it's fun, cheaper.
And the clutch, Steve, is it here? It's not a particularly heavy clutch.
No, I find it fine. I find the clutch is normal. I suppose one thing that's maybe an Achilles heel as well is the handbrake on the 80, just the way I believe Toyota designed it.
Yeah.
Guys are sticking in sort of ones from Nissan, I think, as well. There's a crossover to improve that kind of basic. But I mean, there's all sorts you can do. Depends how sort of deep your pockets are. I suppose you can pimp anything out. Like
Exactly.
radically, and you've seen them. That's the 80s are such legends. And especially the turbo ones and which were the ones the
4.2
top of the range. Oh,
the VX with the 4.2 turbo diesel automatic.
That's the one.
That's like hen's teeth now, finding a decent one of those.
Absolutely, and the guys are all after them.
When that engine goes, you're looking at about 80,000, 90,000 replace it.
Yeah.
This you could probably be half the price.
Exactly.
But apparently it's the same block that's on the turbo that just added a turbo to it. I don't know how true that is. There's a young guy on YouTube who's got one of the 105 180 He's knowledgeable beyond his years.
Cool.
The Aussie guys almost grow up with this kind of thing.
They absolutely do. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of them. They love them.
And when were you looking at any other trucks, or was it only an 80 series for you?
Not really. I mean, I think I was looking around, but budget is one thing, and this kind of fitted what we wanted. Again, I would have considered the 105, and then I mean, the 70s. Which the newer 70s, which the guys are running today, with still the 1HZ. I mean, they're still excellent units. Not quite as solid as this, but again, kind of out of my price range.
Also, is that the same? But the comfort levels on this must be much nicer than the 70 series.
I think so. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. The all-sprung suspension, and maybe a little bit of more room on the side. Yeah, I mean, but I suppose where you really compare it is if you were to make the unfortunately have to compare it to the Land Rover. I mean, you're just getting so much more space inside alone. It's just your arm space. Never mind everything else.
And you can put your arm.
Yeah.